Here, time is not measured in hours or minutes. It is measured in the pulse of the chase. Every wind here carries the scent of blood and dust. Under this scorching sun, peace is but a sweet lie. From the gentle giants to the assassins in the shadows, all face a single ultimatum: run, hunt, or be forgotten. Welcome to the grandest stage on Earth. The African buffalo has learned to live in harmony with fire. With its massive build, a full-grown male can weigh up to 2,000 pounds. The Cape buffalo is the larger, more common, and more recognizable subspecies, with enormous horns whose bases fuse to form a thick, hard bone structure, known as a boss. When attacked by lions, their main enemy, the buffalo do not scatter in chaos. Instead, the entire group forms a defensive circle, with the young and the weakest individuals in the center. Sudden counterattacks, even chasing and tossing lions into the air, are not uncommon in the wild. However, its unpredictable nature and aggressive temperament make this buffalo a difficult animal to approach. Among the big five, the African buffalo is considered the most dangerous to humans. Even without seeing the fire, the elephants have recognized the danger. They can smell the smoke from a distance, detecting the small rise in temperature on their sensitive skin. Low, long sounds below the threshold of human hearing, but to the elephants, they are powerful warnings, enough for the entire herd to prepare to retreat. The herd begins to move. The matriarch, the oldest and wisest, takes the lead, guiding the group out of the danger zone. They follow ancient paths passed down from one generation to the next, towards the lowlands, with their underground springs and vegetation less affected by the fire. In the dry season, small groups merge, forming a super herd of several hundred individuals. Almost no predator dares to approach, but the young are the weakest link. In the eyes of the lions, this is a golden opportunity. But they are not just facing a defensive prey. They need to overcome a living fortress made of flesh, hide, and maternal instinct. When she senses danger, the mother elephant trumpets. Her call echoes across the savannah. The calf takes refuge between its mother's legs, still trembling but now safe. But her duty extends beyond protection. It is a tender, ancient medicine. From the very ash that marks the land's trauma, she gathers a soothing balm, a dark poultice, applied with the gentlest of touches. It is a lesson in healing, taught by the earth itself, a ritual to cleanse the wounds of the fire. Meanwhile, in a distant open space, a giraffe takes long strides across the scorched earth. Its tall, majestic body stands out against the smoke and the burnt streaks of grass. With its watchful eyes from afar, it chooses the safest path, avoiding the fast-spreading flames on the dry vegetation. The average height of an adult can be up to 18 feet. Although they rarely run in panic, they can still reach speeds of nearly 37 miles per hour when they need to escape dangerous situations, taking advantage of their long stride. In years of prolonged drought, especially when large wildfires destroy the low vegetation, they expand their foraging territories, sometimes traveling tens of miles. Although it does not exhibit active defensive behavior, its height and good vision help the giraffe to spot predators from afar, allowing other species like zebra or wildebeest to react in time. Under the midday sun, a black-backed jackal silently moves through the tall grass. Its slender body, with its yellow and black fur, blends in with the dry earth. Though small, the black-backed jackal has its place in the world. Not by strength, but by caution, timing, and an extraordinary ability to seize the smallest opportunities that nature offers. And when the opportunity comes, it coils and launches like an arrow cutting through the wind. The sound of rustling grass and flying stones follows its chase towards the flock of birds. This time, luck was not on its side. But for an opportunist like the black-backed jackal, failure is just another natural part of life. And the sun continues to rise, signaling a new hunt, another chance, at a more favorable time. But this time, it cannot fail. From the edge of the forest, a flock of guineafowl appears, flapping their wings frantically before dispersing towards the waterhole. Each male shakes its head, fans its tail, displaying its brilliant plumage in a constant competition. It is not a large prey, not a spectacular victory, but for the jackal, it is a few more hours of survival under the scorching sun. And sometimes just one wrong step away from the group, and the tragedy will begin. The wind blows gently through the yellow grass. A slow young buffalo, a sweet prey, seems too easy. The bushes behind it stir slightly. The lion has locked onto its target, moving inch by inch, muscles tensed. Without a moment's hesitation, it charges, closing the distance in seconds. But it is not a prey, it is a trap with horns and the instinct of a mother. Now it is panting amidst the red dust and the hooves pounding the ground. On the savannah, the black kite, a cunning bird of prey, appears with its dark brown plumage, as if it has just emerged from the heart of the fire itself. The black kite survives by its ability to read the chaos. It has learned to turn the flames into a lavish outdoor feast, With a wingspan that can reach 5 feet and a slightly forked tail that acts as an intelligent rudder, it flies for hours without expending much energy. In the newly blackened environment, when rodents, lizards, frogs, or insects no longer have thickets to hide in, the black kite does not need to dive fast. They do not choose the strongest prey, but the weakest or most desperate in a landscape devoid of any protection. Its omnivorous diet allows it to easily adapt to the climate, the seasons, and the availability of food. They can hunt, live prey, and scavenge on carcasses left by the wildfires. Even the thick smell of smoke does not deter them. On the contrary, this layer of air and dust helps to mask the body odor of their prey. But the kite's relationship with fire is more than just opportunistic. It is an act of creation. It has been seen to grasp a burning ember, a stolen fragment of the inferno, and carry it to unburnt grass. It is not just a hunter, it is a firebringer, a primal force that understands that from greater destruction comes a greater feast. Although this behavior has not been widely confirmed in Africa, it clearly shows the extremely proactive instinct of this species. The social structure of the black kite is also unique. They do not live alone like many other birds of prey. On the contrary, it is common to see hundreds of individuals sharing the same airspace. During migration, the flocks can number in the thousands, forming mobile clouds of birds, sleeping together and exchanging information about food locations. Present on 4 major continents, the black kite is one of the most successful birds of prey in the world, with a global estimate of about 6.7 million individuals. During the harsh, dry season, the savanna unfolds like a stage with no curtain. A group, or pride, is organized as a small society, comprising several related lionesses, their young, and 1 or 2 adult males. Amidst the prolonged hunger of the dry season, This order becomes ever more crucial for survival. But pay close attention to the lionesses. They are the soul of every hunt. They are not just hunters, they are companions, mothers, and protectors. Although he took no part in the hunt, the adult male is the first to eat. Only after he has chosen the best portions and moved away do the lionesses begin to share the rest. And only then do the cubs sneak in, squabbling over the remaining scraps, a lesson in survival repeated with every dry season. Then the first rains arrive. The savannah is transformed. New grass sprouts, the earth darkens, and temporary pools form. The prey returns, more numerous and more alert. The hunt no longer relies on the barrenness of the land, but on sophisticated coordination and experience. On this reviving savanna, the lion's roar carries further than ever. With its specialized larynx and square-shaped vocal cords, its roar can travel up to 5 miles, piercing the damp air of the wet season. In this context, a lion's roar is more than a call to its pride. It is like a bell tolling across a reborn land, marking the start of a new hunting cycle. Sexual dimorphism is a prominent feature of the species, with the male displaying a thick, dark, and dense mane, like a visual armor. The mane is not only protection in battle, but also a biological signal of health and high testosterone levels. Evolutionarily, the lion appeared in Africa more than 2 million years ago and spread to Asia and Europe in subsequent geological periods. Today, only 2 main subspecies remain, one in India and another across sub-Saharan Africa. However, according to a 2024 IUCN report, the global wild lion population has declined by approximately 43% over the last 30 years. In the world of predators, the spotted hyena stands out not only for its characteristic laugh, but also for its completely different social structure. This is one of the few species on the planet with an absolute matriarchal system. The females are not only larger and stronger, but they also completely dominate the entire clan. Even the lowest ranking female has more authority than any male in the group. This hierarchy is not random. It is inherited directly from mother to daughter. The young born to high-ranking females have preferential access to food, territory, and a higher chance of survival. The reproduction of these females occurs under harsh biological conditions. The mortality rate of the first litter exceeds 60%. And it is not uncommon for the mother herself to die during childbirth. However, overcoming all these anatomical anomalies, the spotted hyena still thrives as an evolutionary symbol of adaptation. Meat, skin, ligaments, bones, even hooves and horns, nothing is wasted. The highly efficient digestive system of the hyena allows it to utilize almost the entire carcass. Although often labeled as scavengers, in reality 60 to 70% of a hyena's food comes from active hunting, depending on the ecosystem. High above, the shadow of a creature circles as if reading the remaining traces of the destruction. It is the white-backed vulture. After a fire where surprise attacks leave scattered carcasses, the white-backed vulture appears as an indispensable part of the ecosystem. It was already high above, soaring on the thermal columns, as if sniffing out the invisible disturbances in the air. Its sharp eyes can scan tens of square miles in just a few minutes. Extraordinary vision is the primary tool that allows the white-backed vulture to locate a carcass from a height of hundreds of feet, but it is its social communication system that impressively extends its range. When one individual identifies a food source, within seconds, the sky can be filled with dozens or even hundreds of others arriving from all directions. The body of the white-backed vulture is a masterpiece of evolutionary adaptation for scavenging. The featherless head and neck help to avoid the accumulation of dead tissue, blood, and body fluids. Its hooked beak is not sharp enough to tear through thick hides, but it is ideal for pulling and tearing at the soft meat and organs where the most precious nutrients are concentrated. Its digestive system possesses a stomach with an extremely low pH, close to zero, capable of neutralizing deadly bacteria like those causing anthrax or cholera, which would be fatal to most other species. To endure the heat radiating from the scorched earth, the vulture employs a grim but ingenious solution. It anoints its own legs with its body's waste. As the liquid evaporates, it draws heat from the blood flowing beneath, a personal and portable cooling system born of necessity. It is a stark reminder that in this world, survival is often stripped of all dignity. At the same time, the acid in it helps to disinfect their legs after they have stepped on a carcass. After a wildfire, a carcass is not just a biological consequence, but also a hygiene risk if not removed quickly. And that is when the white-backed vulture acts as the first line of biological defense. However, despite its irreplaceable ecological role, the survival of the white-backed vulture is more threatened than ever. In the last 3 decades, this species has lost 81% of its population. In West Africa alone, the decline could exceed 90%. Unlike birds of prey that hunt, live prey, the white-backed vulture does not hunt. It follows the movements of predators like lions or spotted hyenas, waiting for the prey to fall. In wildfires, this happens more frequently, as many animals die from exhaustion or smoke inhalation. All it needs is a precise flight, a quick landing, and the meal will be settled in under an hour. When the dust settles and the ground is still radiating heat after the fire, the water points become the convergence for all forms of life. And the predators know how to take advantage of this opportunity. Research in Kruger National Park and other savannas shows that predators frequently hunt near water sources. Where the prey gathers to drink, creating true ecological hotspots. In this post-fire period of stress, the pressure of survival makes natural selection more brutal than ever. When the wildfires sweep across the plains zebra is often one of the first species to reappear on the ground, still smelling of burnt ash. With great physical endurance and a flexible movement strategy, they quickly adapt to the altered landscape. One of the features that contributes most to their survival in these risky migrations is their seemingly mysterious black and white striped coat. Each individual possesses a unique stripe pattern. A study published in 2024 by the Royal Society of Biology reinforces the hypothesis that these stripes disrupt the orientation and landing abilities of blood-sucking flies. In addition, when the group moves together, the blend of hundreds of stripes creates an optical effect that makes it difficult for predators to focus on a single individual. Socially, the plains zebra maintains a harem-style family structure. Each family group consists of a dominant stallion, several adult females, and their young. The ecological role of the plains zebra is directly related to their less selective diet. They consume taller grasses, which are more fibrous and of lower quality. The secretary bird is a bird of prey endemic to Africa, distributed throughout the sub-Saharan region, from Senegal to Somalia, extending to southern Africa. It moves mainly on the ground, with long, sturdy, and agile legs, walking an average of 12 to 18 miles a day. Instead of hunting from above like an eagle or a hawk, it goes straight to its target. It strikes with a powerful kick of about 44 pounds of force, equivalent to 5 times its own body weight. This force is enough to crush the skull of a large snake with just a few precise kicks. In the post-fire period, this strategy becomes even more effective. The bare surface makes it easy to spot prey from a distance. Its diet consists of large insects, young birds, eggs, reptiles, and small mammals, but its standout feature is its ability to take down venomous snake species. The image of a tall bird walking on the devastated savanna, cornering its prey and delivering a decisive kick, has become a symbol of strength and precision. Evolutionary history shows that it belongs to the Accipitridae family, along with eagles and hawks, but split off into a separate branch over 50 million years ago. The combination of the head and beak of a bird of prey with the legs of a running bird is the result of a long process of adaptation to the open plains. This allows it to maintain speed and endurance over long distances, while also delivering powerful attacks when necessary. The role of this bird in the ecosystem is not limited to controlling the populations of snakes and small animals, but also contributes to the rapid rebalancing after natural disturbances. The IUCN's 2024 estimate shows that only about 6,700 to 6,900 mature individuals remain in the world. As one of Africa's most effective pack hunters, the African wild dog also has its own strategies to get ahead of its prey when the savanna fire begins to subside. During this period, they can take advantage of the temporary changes in the environment to expand their field of vision and create more favorable conditions for their prolonged pursuit tactics. Studies of savanna carnivores show that after a fire, many species frequently use the edges of the burned areas or the newly recovered areas for hunting more often. This species is one of the most socially cohesive carnivores in the natural world. Each group usually has only one alpha breeding pair, but all members care for the young. Before each hunt, the whole pack engages in a lively greeting ceremony. They run in circles, rub against each other, and emit high-pitched sounds to strengthen their team spirit. The hunting skill of the African wild dog is based on endurance and tactical coordination. They can maintain a speed of about 37 miles per hour for several minutes, pursuing their prey over a distance of 1 to 3 miles until it is exhausted. The success rate in their hunts ranges from 60 to 80%, depending on the area and conditions, the highest index among the large predators of Africa. Physically, each individual possesses a unique spotted coat of black, yellow, white, and brown, like a human fingerprint. The large, round ears act as omnidirectional antennae, amplifying their hearing and helping to dissipate heat when the ground temperature can exceed 113 degrees Fahrenheit after a fire. Their dentition is specialized for a hypercarnivorous diet, with large, sharp premolars that allow for quick tearing of flesh and reduced feeding time. The ecological role of this species lies in controlling the populations of medium-sized herbivores such as impala, bushbuck, and other antelope species.